Part 10. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 91. As soon as he saw the fire dragon's eyes full of violence and killing intent looking at him, Lin Su felt a chill in his heart. Damn it, this guy's target is himself. Yulong, this guy's target is me, go away separately. The spirit boat is now more than 10 miles away from the fire island. Lin Su and the two behaved so low-key. The nascent soul stage fire dragon actually noticed them. Lin Su could guess it with his toes. The other party was targeting him. Song Yulong is just a human casual cultivator at the 10th level of the Qi refining stage. Huo Jiao doesn't even pay attention to the human cultivators in the foundation building stage or even the pill formation stage. How could he take a fancy to a small character like him? The only possibility is to have a dragon. Yuan's Lin Su. Lin Su now had a vague suspicion in his mind. He probably knew why the volcano erupted early. Perhaps the aura of his cultivation was sensed by the fire dragon hiding in the volcano, so he was born early and caused the volcano to erupt. Erupt. Lin Su didn't know what this fire dragon saw in him, but thinking about it, I'm afraid it wasn't a very good thing. He didn't think that the other party would talk to him politely because they were both snake-like monsters. Regardless of the situation, you should try it regardless of whether you can escape or not. The best way to escape is for him and Song Yulong to separate and run for their own lives. Take care of yourself. If we all survive, we will meet one day sooner or later. After saying a few words, Lin Su turned over and jumped into the sea, swimming towards the sea in the other direction as fast as he could. Boom! The sound of the huge thing entering the water sounded behind him, and Lin Su's heart tightened. The target of the fire dragon was indeed him, and it was chasing after him. Trying his best to run Long Yuan, Lin Su had already used his fastest speed to escape, but the surrounding sea water still quickly became boiling. Where do you want to run, little one? A somewhat hoarse voice sounded in Lin Su's ears, and at the same time, a huge figure appeared directly in front of Lin Su, with two eyes like burning lights staring at him. It's over, I still can't run away. With a helpless smile, Lin Su's last thought flashed through his mind. A huge force hit him, and he fainted without any suspense. Am I still alive? Where is this place? When he woke up again, Lin Su found that he seemed to be in a lava hell. Next to him was a bubbling magma lake, surrounded by steep rock walls that were reflected red by the firelight, and where Lin Su was lying the location was a rock hot enough to fry an egg. If the monster's body wasn't extremely strong, he might have turned into a roasted snow python. He was actually inside the crater. How did he get here? You woke up so soon? Little guy, you are more powerful than I thought, well, just a little bit more powerful. Suddenly a voice rang in Lin Su's ears. Lin Su suddenly raised his head and looked up. It was the fire dragon. It's just that its current figure has shrunk several times compared to before. The original mountain-sized figure is now only the size of a hut. Of course, compared to Lin Su, it is still as big as a small tree compared to a fly. You didn't eat me. In Lin Su's impression, monsters are preyed on by the weak. He possesses dragon essence, so he should be extremely delicious food for the fire dragon. Eat you. The fire dragon grinned as if he heard something ridiculous, and the entire mountain was shaken by its huge laughter. After a long time, the fire dragon stopped laughing, looked at Lin Su playfully and said, "Why should I eat you? Are you some delicious food? Look at your figure, if you hadn't shrunk your body, you would still be, not enough for me to stuff between my teeth. Then why did you catch me? Don't tell me because we are both snake-like monsters and you want to chat with me." Even if they are of the same kind, Lin Su doesn't think that this fire dragon would want to make friends with a spiritualized snow python that is still at the second level of monsters like him. After all, there is a huge gap in cultivation between the two parties, and the other party is at the nascent soul stage or above. Dragon. Chat? No, no, I'm not bored enough to chat with you, a little snake who hasn't even turned into a dragon. The fire dragon waved its huge head, stretched it out in front of Lin Su, and looked at him with interest. I feel the breath of dragon essence in your body, which makes me very curious, a second-level dragon that has not even transformed into a dragon. Why is the dragon element formed in the little snake's body? Sure enough, Lin Su's guess was correct. The fire dragon burst out of the volcano after sensing the aura of Lin Su's Long Yuan. The reason why he was caught was to find out the origin of the dragon Yuan in his body. The dragon essence in my body is of course created by the Xianxia dragon transformation technique. Lin Su secretly murmured in his heart. Of course, it was impossible for him to say these words, let alone tell this dragon the technique of Xianxia dragon transformation technique. Lin Su knew very well that the reason why this dragon did not kill him was I am interested in the cause of the formation of dragon essence in his body. If he tells me, I am afraid he will die immediately. What are you thinking, little one? Are you going to make up a lie to get rid of me? Seeing that Lin Su was speechless for a long time, Huo Jiao's tone became cold. Little one, I'm warning you to give up such thoughts, otherwise I don't mind having a taste of a little snake that is about to turn into a dragon. Damn it, none of these old monsters who have lived for a long time are good. Lin Su cursed in his heart, but he didn't dare to show it on his face. What Huo Jiao said was right. He was thinking about how to make up a lie that Huo Jiao would believe, but it seemed a little too difficult. He was facing an old monster in the nascent soul stage who had lived for who knows how long. It would be difficult for him to believe a general lie. Why do you want to know the origin of the dragon essence in my body? You are about to turn into a dragon, and you also have dragon essence in your body. After thinking for a long time, Lin Su decided to find out the purpose of Huo Jiao first, so that he could make up a lie according to the other party's words and make it more credible. Yes, I am about to turn into a dragon, and I also have dragon essence in my body, but turning into a dragon quickly does not mean turning into a dragon. I have been stuck in this realm for 1,000 years. If I can't break through to the late nascent soul stage and turn into a dragon, my life will end. The fire dragon laughed at himself, and then stared at Lin Su. So, little guy, you'd better not play tricks with me, I don't have much patience. It turns out that this old dragon wants to get the secret of turning into a dragon. Lin Su understood. The longer you live, the more you cherish your life. This is true for both human cultivators and monsters. This dragon has been stuck in the middle stage of the nascent soul for thousands of years. It has little life left. If it cannot break through to the late stage of the nascent soul and completely transform into a fire dragon, it will return to dust and earth. Lin Su naturally couldn't tell the fire dragon about the Xiantian Hualongju, but if it was just about the dragon turning into a dragon, Lin Su still had a way. As long as he injected a trace of his dragon essence into the body of the fire dragon could break through the bottleneck and successfully transform into a dragon. Although they were both dragon essence, the dragon essence in Lin Su's body was cultivated by the Xiantian Huanlongju and was fused with Lin Su's soul. It was much purer than the dragon essence in the fire dragon. As long as a trace of dragon essence entered the fire dragon, with the fire dragon's understanding of cultivation, it would definitely be able to find the difference and help it cross the level of dragon turning into a dragon. Of course, Lin Su would not be so stupid as to tell the fire dragon this method directly, which would be equivalent to giving the other party the best reason to swallow him in one gulp. I do know how to turn a Jiao into a dragon, and I also know how to help you break through the bottleneck, but how do I know that you won't repay me with evil after I tell you? As soon as Lin Su's words came out, a huge force knocked him out and hit the rock wall hard. At the same time, the cold voice of the fire dragon rang in his ears. Boy, do you think you are qualified to negotiate with me? Tell me the method of turning into a dragon, maybe I will let you go. If you want to play tricks, you will immediately become my snack. Sure enough, in the face of absolute strength, any wisdom is invalid. Lin Su smiled bitterly. Now he is the fish and he has no qualifications to negotiate conditions. Okay, I tell you, you need to find two kinds of spiritual herbs, blood loto ginseng and broken veins grass, plus a trace of my dragon yuan, and refine them into pills according to the proportion. After taking them, they can help you break through the bottleneck. The force that pressed Lin Su against the rock wall disappeared, and Lin Su relaxed his body. The force just now was so huge that he had no power to resist at all, and the other party didn't even move. Boy, are you telling the truth? Blood loto ginseng, broken veins grass and your dragon essence can make me break through? You should know what will happen if you lie to me. The fire dragon stared at Lin Su, with a hint of suspicion in his eyes. Why should I lie to you? Give you a reason to swallow me. Lin Su took a deep breath. Of course, if you don't believe it, you can swallow me now, but you will never have a chance to turn into a dragon again. Lin Su was betting that the fire dragon would believe him, and he was glad that he won. Okay, little guy, I will believe you once. Tell me, where can I find blood loto ginseng and broken veins grass? In the Demon Sea. I got the map of the Demon Sea from a human cultivator, because I need them too. The best lie is the truth contained in the falsehood, only in this way can it be easy to convince others. Lin Su's words made the fire dragon mistakenly believe that he also needed blood loto ginseng and broken veins grass to turn into a dragon early, which completely dispelled his doubts. Demon Sea? Little guy, with your current cultivation level, you can't even resist the barrier power there. The fire dragon glanced at Lin Su and said, I think you're about to break through. Break through to the third level monster here first, so that you can barely withstand the barrier power. I'll give you 1 year, and we'll set off for the Demon Sea after 1 year. Huh. Lin Su breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he was smart enough to remember the blood loto ginseng and broken veins grass, and lied to the fire dragon that he had to use these two spiritual herbs together with his dragon essence to refine the elixir for it to be effective. Now he has found a powerful bodyguard. If he operates well, he may be able to successfully obtain these two spiritual herbs and get away. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 92. Demon Sea, Chaos Star Sea, a sea area known for death and terror, is a forbidden area for human cultivators. Even powerful cultivators who have reached the nascent soul stage are reluctant to set foot here easily. For monsters, this is also a terrifying demon cave. There are many trenches under it, and the terrain is strange and complex. Perhaps under an inconspicuous sandbag, there is a terrifying and cruel existence. It was sunny and the blue sky and sea water extended from the eyes to the horizon. The breeze blew, and circles of waves swayed on the sea. It looked so calm and peaceful, which seemed to have nothing to do with the terrifying name of the Demon Sea. A fire dragon as thick as a bucket and more than 3 feet long was flying above the sea. On the horn of its head, there was a spiritual ice snow python as thick as an arm. It was the fire dragon and Lin Su in the middle stage of the nascent soul. Little guy, is this the dangerous Demon Sea you mentioned? You'd better give me a satisfactory explanation, otherwise I'll have to taste the roasted snow python tonight. Under Lin Su's deception, the Yuanying middle stage fire dragon who called himself Master shrunk to its current size and served as Lin Su's temporary mount. Lin Su's reason was simple. He had just broken through to the third level monster beast, his strength was low, and his flying speed was too slow, so he needed the help of Master Fire. As for the reduction in size, it was because the body of the fire dragon was too large, which could easily attract the attention of other powerful monster beasts in the Demon Sea and cause unnecessary trouble. But the journey has been extremely peaceful. Now we have entered the area of the Demon Sea on the map. It looks no different from other sea areas. The dissatisfaction of the fire dragon has accumulated to the point where it is almost on the verge of an explosion. Well, isn't there a saying that the calmer the surface, the greater the crisis? Lin Su has experienced the violent character of the fire dragon these days. This old man is definitely not joking. If he gets angry, he might really put him on the fire. Don't be anxious, Master Huo. We have just entered the realm of the Demon Sea. The sea is changing. Maybe it's calm at this moment, and there will be lightning and thunder the next moment. As soon as Lin Su finished speaking, countless dark clouds suddenly came from all directions. The originally clear sky suddenly darkened. The strong wind swept across the sea and raised huge waves. From time to time, lightning shot out from the clouds and bombarded the sea surface, instantly turning it into a scene of purgatory. It's not so evil. Why didn't it work when I said I would pick up magic weapons when I went out? Lin Su stared at the scene that seemed to have turned from heaven to hell in the blink of an eye, and his mouth twitched. Little guy, you really have a bad mouth. The fire dragon laughed loudly. It was rare to see Lin Su's frustrated look, and the fire dragon was very happy. It has been a year since he got along with Lin Su. This little guy doesn't look like a juvenile monster at all. He is surprisingly intelligent and has always been calm and experienced. The fire dragon didn't say anything, but he had already regarded Lin Su as a little monster in his heart. Lin Su opened his mouth to say something, but in the end he pointed in a direction angrily and lay on the fire dragon's head in depression. Forget it, let this old monster laugh, it's much better than him looking like a barrel of explosives. Raising clouds and rain is the innate skill of the dragon family. Even though the fire dragon is a fire-attributed monster, it has no patience with such a storm. Instead, it leisurely descends from time to stir up the already turbulent sea surface. We're here. It's in this area. It should be growing on the seabed. We have to go down and look for it. The speed of the Yuanying stage dragon was really fast. It arrived at the area indicated by the jade map in less than half a day after entering the Demon Sea. Under Lin Su's instructions, the fire dragon turned its body and plunged into the sea to swim towards the seabed. At the same time, its powerful consciousness spread out to find the traces of the blood ginseng and the broken vein grass. Found it, the blood ginseng is at the bottom of the trench ahead. The consciousness of the middle stage Yuanying fire dragon was so powerful that it spread out with all its strength to perceive the area within a radius of dozens of miles. It soon found the traces of the blood ginseng. With a swing of its body, the fire dragon took Lin Su into the trench and swam towards the blood ginseng growing at the bottom of the trench. Isn't it said that blood ginseng grows only in places where blood evil energy condenses? This place looks very peaceful, not at all like a place where blood evil energy condenses. Blood ginseng looks the same as ordinary ginseng, but its whole body is blood red, and it grows by absorbing blood evil energy. The blood ginseng in front of him growing in the cracks of the stone is exactly the same as described in the jade slip, but Lin Su did not feel the slightest blood evil energy, which made him feel a little strange. Forget it, no matter how much, put it into the spiritual field space first. Sprang up from the head of the fire dragon, Lin Su swam towards the blood ginseng, and released his spiritual consciousness to put it into the spiritual field space. Roar. An angry roar sounded from the ground, and then a huge spike shining with cold light suddenly rushed out from the place where the blood ginseng was and stabbed towards Lin Su, and before it reached his body, Lin Su had already felt cold all over. If he was stabbed, Lin Su had no doubt that his body would be cut in half. At that moment, the dragon essence in his body suddenly burst out, and his figure flashed and turned into a residual shadow and disappeared on the spot, and appeared several meters away. It was the ultimate move of Cloud Smoke step shape change. Of course, while using shape change to dodge the attack, Lin Su did not forget to wrap his consciousness and put the blood loto ginseng into his spiritual field space. Ho! The roar of the beast started again, and a figure as huge as a small hill rushed out from the ground. It turned out to be a weird-looking flat elongated fish with two pairs of spines. The spikes that attacked Lin Su before were the tail of this strange fish. The blow just now was strangely dodged by Lin Su, and the fact that the blood ginseng was taken away by Lin Su seemed to anger the huge strange fish. After rushing out of the ground, a fierce light flashed in its eyes, and its tail fiercely pointed at Lin Su again. Pricked over. Master Huo, if you don't take action, I will die, and then you won't get the dragon transformation pill. Lin Su wanted to use transformation again, but found that the surrounding sea water was imprisoned by an inexplicable force. Even the movement of the dragon essence in his body became extremely slow, and he could not cast any spells at all. Seeing that about to be split in half by the strange fish, Lin Su shouted loudly to the fire dragon who was watching the show. Crack! The spike-like tail suddenly stopped in front of Lin Su, as if it hit some invisible wall of air. The fire dragon's mocking voice sounded, "A mere small fish in the middle stage of pill formation dares to stand in front of your Lord Huo. Are you impatient with your behavior?" As the words fell, the terrifying coercion of the monsters in the middle stage of the nascent soul swept across the entire trench in an instant. The monster fish, which was originally vicious and full of murderous eyes, froze and trembled violently. When it looked at the fire dragon, there was a thick look in its eyes. Fear. Ho! A low roar sounded, and the fierce light disappeared from the eyes of the strange fish, who was frightened by the terrifying pressure of the fire dragon. The roar seemed to have the intention of surrendering and begging for mercy, but there was no slight fluctuation of spiritual thoughts. The cultivation level and physical body of the alchemy stage are so low, but the spiritual intelligence is so low that he can't even transmit his spiritual consciousness. This little fish is quite strange. With a flash of light in his eyes, the fire dragon carefully looked at the strange fish that was trembling under his pressure, and his eyes revealed a strong interest. "I haven't eaten for a long time. I don't know what this little fish is like. How is the taste different from other pill-forming monsters? I really want to try it." As if feeling the greed and murderous intent in the fire dragon's words, the strange fish suddenly shook and broke free from the pressure of the fire dragon. A large group of dark red gas emerged from all over its body, instantly spreading for several kilometers. A range of 10 feet completely covered his figure. The evil spirit of blood. As soon as the dark red aura appeared, Lin Su's complexion changed. He had witnessed people from the demon sect collecting blood evil energy and soul power on the battlefield in the world of immortality. He was extremely sensitive to this aura. This was extremely pure. It contains a lot of blood evil aura, and it also incorporates a lot of soul power. It seems that many monsters will die in the hands of this strange fish. No wonder Lin Su didn't notice any blood evil power before. It turned out that it was absorbed by this strange fish. It seemed that it was cultivating blood ginseng with the blood evil power it absorbed. Want to run away? Come back obediently, uncle. After all, Lin Su's cultivation level was too low, and the strength of his soul was limited. He could not detect the movements of the strange fish in the blood evil aura, but this could not be hidden from the fire dragon. The fire dragon, who noticed the strange fish escaping, smiled contemptuously, and one of the fish under his belly, the giant claw, grabbed into the blood evil aura, and the terrifying suction force instantly surged out from the giant claw. The blood evil energy rushed towards the giant claw under this suction force, but it was a few feet away from the giant claw. Silently annihilated everywhere. Also pulled by the suction force was the wailing strange fish. However, no matter how hard it struggled, it was still sucked into the giant claws of the fire dragon without any suspense. "If you let me run away, then I will let you go tonight. What should I do for dinner? I can't really roast this little guy, right? I still want to keep him to make elixirs." After muttering something, Huo Jiao turned his gaze to Lin Su and grinned. "You think so, little guy?" Ha ha, ha ha. The corner of Lin Su's mouth twitched, and he let out a burst of dry laughter. He looked sympathetically at the dying strange fish, whose eyes were pinched in the fire dragon's giant claws and bulged. He said silently in his heart, "Don't blame me, blame me, it's just your bad luck that you will die early and be reborn early, so go ahead and go in peace. Buzz. A ray of red light suddenly emerged from the fire dragon, squeezing out the sea water, forming a spherical waterless space. A blazing flame emerged from the huge claws of the fire dragon holding the strange fish, and the strange fish twitched for a while. And soon there was no sound. After a while, a strong aroma of barbecue wafted up. Little guy, do you want to try it? This is the fish meat from the elixir formation stage. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 93. Lin Su didn't know what kind of dangers there were in the monster's lair in the middle stage of nascent soul. Could there be a few small tiger sharks among them? After hesitating for a while, Lin Su gritted his teeth and carefully burrowed into the cave. He sought wealth and wealth in danger. If he was afraid of wolves in front of him and tigers in back, why should he practice? He could just go home and sleep. It's really here. After going around several bends, Lin Su came to a huge mountain in the depths of the cave. He did not encounter any danger, and the broken vein grass he was looking for lay quietly in the rock crevice at the bottom of the mountain. He swam to the broken vein grass and found nothing unusual. Lin Su wrapped the broken vein grass with his spiritual thoughts and put it into the spiritual field space with a swish. I really didn't expect it to go so smoothly. I have to leave quickly, otherwise I won't be able to leave until the ice tiger shark or fire dragon comes back. Lin Su moved and was about to swim towards the entrance of the cave. Suddenly, a black shadow rushed toward him silently from behind him. It was very fast and did not make a sound of water. If Lin Su's soul was not stronger than the average third-level demon, I'm afraid the beast is much stronger than I've ever discovered. Apparition. With a cold shout in his heart, Lin Su's body turned into an afterimage, narrowly avoiding the attack of the black shadow. It's the cub of the ice tiger shark. It's so insidious, I almost got hit. After his body appeared a few meters away, Lin Su saw clearly that the black figure attacking him was a shark with a blue horn on its head. It was about 4 meters larger than Lin Su and had a huge mouth. It was filled with rows of sharp teeth, which looked quite scary. Lin Su didn't know what an adult ice tiger shark in the middle stage of nascent soul looked like, but the one in front of him was only a 4th-level monster, which was equivalent to the cultivation of a monk in the middle stage of foundation establishment. It should be an ice tiger shark in its juvenile stage. After missing a hit, the ice tiger shark let out a roar and rushed towards Lin Su again, its bloody mouth clicking in an attempt to cut Lin Su in two. It seems that the monsters in the Sea of Monsters are not very intelligent. The 4th-level monsters actually rely on physical combat. With a contemptuous smile in his heart, Lin Su swayed and avoided the ice tiger shark's attack again. A sunflower water divine thunder shot out from the horn above his head and hit the ice tiger shark instantly. When he broke through to the 3rd-level monster, the bulge on Lin Su's head broke open and a silver-white horn appeared. However, unlike the dragon, he did not have claws growing under his abdomen. It was probably because his cultivation level was too low. Wait, when he reaches the 6th level of demon beast and forms a golden elixir, he should be able to transform into a dragon. Since the horn above his head appeared, Lin Su discovered that he could instantly cast the 5 elements divine thunder. As long as he thought, the power of the soul would turn into the 5 elements divine thunder and shoot out from the horn above his head. Perhaps this is unique to monsters. Be talented. Ho! The ice tiger shark, which was hit by Koishui divine thunder, let out a painful howl. A large hole opened in the scales on its back, and the smell of barbecue spread out in the sea water along with the large amount of blood. The power of Koishui divine thunder seems to have been strengthened a lot. Lin Su was shocked. Originally, he only wanted to use the sunflower thunder to paralyze the ice tiger shark's movements, and then kill it with the water and fire thunder. After all, a single sunflower thunder can never damage the foundation. For the 4th level monsters of midterm monks, you must know that the physical strength of the monsters is much stronger than that of human monks. Lin Su had a vague feeling that the silver white horn on his head might not only be a simple launch site for spells, but also seemed to have a considerable amplifying effect. No matter what, it is a good thing that his spells have become stronger. Lin Su smiled and blasted a Wutu Divine Thunder towards the ice tiger shark. The 5 elements restrain each other, and earth restrains water. This ice tiger shark is of ice attribute, and the Wutu Divine Thunder is more useful than the Kuishui Divine Thunder. Sure enough, a big hole was opened between the chest and abdomen of the ice tiger shark that was hit by the Wutu Divine Thunder, and it rolled over in pain. But before it was hit by the Wutu Divine Thunder, a blue light invisible to the naked eye also erupted from the top of its head. The shot from the blue horn hit Lin Su, and it was so fast that Lin Su couldn't even use transformation. What the hell is this spell? Lin Su felt an extremely cold force instantly spread throughout his body. Even his soul was about to be frozen, and his whole body stiffly sank to the bottom of the water. No wonder the fire dragon said that the outcome is unpredictable. The ice tiger shark's innate skills are really terrifying. Fortunately, its low intelligence is always used to fighting with its physical body. If it uses this trick from the beginning, then I'm afraid I've become a bloody meal in his mouth. After spending half a stick of incense and using all his strength to activate the Xianxia dragon transformation technique to activate the dragon essence, Lin Su finally resolved the power of the ice cold. After struggling for a long time, he looked at the figure who was lying aside completely lifeless after struggling for a long time. The ice tiger shark couldn't help but feel frightened for a while. Divine consciousness wrapped the body of the ice tiger shark, and Lin Su took it into the spirit field space. He is now the body of a monster. The advantage of monsters compared to monks, in addition to their powerful physical strength, is that they can directly devouring the flesh and blood of other monsters to improve one's own strength. This kind of absorption ability is not possessed by human monks. Rightward arrow. This was something Lin Su suddenly realized after swallowing the flesh and blood of a strange fish in the pill-forming stage. Before that, although his body was a monster, his behavior and thinking were still in accordance with the habits of a human monk, and he had never thought of this. Originally, the vast amount of essence contained in the flesh and blood of the Jindan stage monster fish could raise Lin Su's cultivation to the 4th level or even the 5th level. It's just a pity that most of the essence was absorbed by the spiritual field space. Although this saved Lin Su from the danger of exploding, it also wasted an opportunity for rapid promotion. I have been delayed by this ice tiger shark for so long, I have to leave quickly. It is unknown whether the battle between the fire dragon and the Yuanying middle stage ice tiger shark has been decided. Anyway, Lin Su can't sense the aftermath of the battle at all. He must leave quickly, otherwise it will not be a good thing for him no matter which side catches him. After escaping from the ice tiger shark's nest, Lin Su fled quickly towards the border of the Demon Sea. This sea area is too dangerous. Any monster that comes out is higher than him. With Lin Su's current strength, it's okay to deal with 4th and 5th level monsters. If you encounter a monster above level 6, you can't escape. 2 days later, in a hidden cave 100 miles away from the ice tiger shark's lair, Lin Su curled up in anticipation. His eyes were devoid of any spirit, and his soul had already entered the spiritual field space. The Demon Sea covers tens of thousands of miles, and the nearest border to the ice tiger shark's lair is a full 3,000 miles away. Lin Su is not a big demon in the middle stage of the nascent soul like the fire dragon, and it is impossible for him to leave the Demon Sea in a short time. What's more, there are all kinds of powerful and terrifying monsters hidden in the Demon Sea. If you don't pay attention, you will become food in the mouths of these monsters. Lin Su has to carefully avoid those areas he thinks are dangerous. On the other hand, the body of the ice tiger shark cub is still in Lin Su's spiritual field space. After swallowing and absorbing it, Lin Su may be able to reach the realm of a 4th level monster. In this demon sea, no, it should be said that in the entire Chaos Star Sea, the more strength you have, the more self-protection you have. In the spiritual field space, the skinned body of the ice tiger shark was skewered on a wooden stick. Lin Su was controlling the soul fire to grill it. Although it was now a demon beast, Lin Su could not eat it raw. While grilling the body of the ice tiger shark, Lin Su looked at the 2 pills in his hand, one of which was the transformation pill that could transform him into a human form. The first thing Lin Su did when he entered the spiritual field space was to refine the transformation pill. Although the transformation pill was a high-level pill, its refining process was not complicated, and it was not even as difficult as refining the foundation pill. With the blood logo ginseng and broken vein grass, Lin Su successfully refined it. However, Lin Su did not dare to take the transformation pill easily, at least in this demon sea. When the demon beast transformed into a human form, it had to experience the transformation thunder tribulation. Lin Su did not know whether he would experience the thunder tribulation after taking the transformation pill and transforming into a human form, but he did not dare to take the risk. This is in the Sea of Demons, where dangers are everywhere. The strange phenomena of heaven and earth during the thunder tribulation will certainly attract the demon beasts in the Sea of Demons. It is simply hanging a dazzling light on oneself, which is purely seeking death. The other pill is the dragon transformation pill. In fact, this name was given by Lin Su when he was fooling the fire dragon. It was made by fusing Lin Su's dragon essence with several kinds of spiritual herbs. Lin Su is just in case. If he is caught up by the fire dragon, at least he can use this pill as a bargaining chip to deal with it. Under the roasting of the soul fire, the ice tiger shark meat soon exuded a strong fragrance. Lin Su smiled slightly and disappeared in the spiritual field space. At the same time, the roasted ice tiger shark meat also disappeared. Although almost anything can be done in the spiritual field space, Lin Su only manifests the body of the soul in the spiritual field space. If he wants to devour flesh and blood and absorb essence, he still has to go to the outside world. After the lesson of swallowing the fish meat, Lin Su was much more careful this time. He swallowed a small piece of ice tiger shark meat first, and after feeling the essence in his stomach, he was relieved and ate the ice tiger shark meat in big mouthfuls. A large amount of essence rose from his stomach, and Lin Su used all his strength to operate the Xiantian Hualongju to transform these essences into his own dragon essence. However, in this process, more essences were integrated into Lin Su's flesh, blood, and bones, strengthening his body little by little. Level 4 Monster. It took 10 days for Lin Su to completely absorb the essence of the flesh and blood of the entire ice tiger shark. As he expected, he broke through the limit of the 3rd level monster and was promoted to the 4th level monster. It seems that for monsters, the fastest way to promotion is to swallow the essence of the flesh and blood of other monsters. No wonder monsters will eat the corpses of their opponents after killing them. Lin Su always thought that this was a manifestation of animality. Now he knows that this is the best way to improve his strength. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 94. The cultivation level has been upgraded to the 4th level of monsters, and the transformation pill and the self-created version of dragon transformation pill have been refined. It is time for Lin Su to continue towards the border of the demonic sea. It would be great if I could also refine the breath condensing pill. Then I wouldn't have to worry about being caught up by the fire dragon. Well, the safety factor in the Sea of Demons would also be greatly increased. Lin Su smacked his mouth and sighed, but it's a pity that this can only be a beautiful fantasy. The recipe for the breathing pill has indeed been replenished in the spiritual field, but Lin Su does not have the corresponding spiritual grass. This clever woman can't make a building without rice. No matter how superb Lin Su's alchemy skills are, No matter how magical the alchemy furnace in the spirit field space is, it is impossible to generate the breath-condensing pill out of thin air without the corresponding spiritual grass. Putting this unrealistic fantasy out of his mind, Lin Su used his consciousness to check what was happening outside. After confirming that there was no danger, he swung his body and ran out quietly. Half a month later. Cross the trench in front and you can leave this damn demonic sea. Emerging from the sand at the bottom of the sea, Lin Su cast his gaze towards a deep trench in the distance, with a trace of fire in his eyes. In the past half-month, Lin Su had passed death countless times every day. The demon sea lived up to its name of demons, with all kinds of strange monsters emerging in an endless stream, ranging from third-level monsters to 8th-level monsters. In addition, Lin Su didn't know how he survived the various underwater plants that seemed beautiful and charming but suddenly turned into murderous monsters. He managed to escape these killings time and time again and got here. There is a faint light curtain in the trench in front, which is a giant barrier surrounding the entire demon sea. Lin Su didn't know how this huge barrier was formed. Even the fire dragon, who was a mid-stage nascent soul monster and had lived for who knows how long, knew nothing about it. It seemed that from the day the demon sea was formed, this barrier already exists. This layer of enchantment seems to have a special barrier effect. No matter how powerful the monsters in the demon sea are, even if they reach the 11th level of monster beasts in the late nascent soul, they still cannot break through this layer of enchantment. Beyond the demon sea. However, human cultivators and monsters who originally belong to the outside of the demonic sea must reach at least level 4 monsters, that is, cultivation levels above the middle stage of foundation building if they want to enter it, in order to be able to withstand the huge pressure of the barrier. In the beginning, Lin Su was able to enter the sea of monsters with the cultivation of a third-level monster. Firstly, his physical cultivation was far superior to that of ordinary third-level monsters. Secondly, it was also thanks to the help of the fire dragon. Now, Lin Su has advanced to a 4th-level monster, and it is no longer a problem to pass through this barrier with his own strength. The power of Long Yuan spread throughout his body, and Lin Su endured the strong pressure and got out of the barrier. Although the distance was only less than a few meters, it seemed like 2 worlds. Above the demon sea within the barrier is a doomsday scene with strong winds, lightning, and thunder, while outside the barrier is a blue sea, clear sky, and cloudless. This huge sensory gap makes Lin Su feel inexplicable. The ground felt soothed, and I couldn't help humming a song from before I entered the world of immortality. "Little guy, you seem to be in a good mood." A familiar voice sounded behind him. Lin Su stopped singing, his heart suddenly skipped a beat, and his scalp felt numb. This voice was a fire dragon. Looking back with some difficulty, Lin Su showed a smile that was uglier than crying. Not far behind him, a fire dragon the size of a small house was looking at him teasingly. "I haven't seen you for a few days, and it has already reached the 4th level super monster. Little guy, you are making rapid progress. But you seem to have forgotten what you promised me, right? How is this possible? We, the Jiaolong clan, are all true to our word. How could I forget what I promised you, Lord Huo? It's just that this demon sea is too dangerous. If I fall in it, Lord Huo, you won't be either. It's a breakthrough." When Lin Su said these words, he kept despising himself in his heart. When did he become so glib and shameless like that guy Zhang Yunfan? "So you still think about me, Master Huo?" "No, no, it's for our sake. If I can save my life, Master Huo, won't your dragon transformation pill also be saved?" Lin Su smiled flatteringly. The jade bottle containing the dragon transformation pill had appeared in front of Lin Su, wrapped by its tail. In this jade bottle is the dragon transformation pill. The fire dragon's pupils suddenly shrank and stared at the jade bottle in Lin Su's hand. "Yes, Lord Huo is really smart. This is the dragon transformation pill made from blood ginseng, broken vein grass and my dragon essence. As long as you take this pill, Lord Huo, you will definitely be able to break through the bottleneck and transform into a dragon. Jiao is a dragon. As soon as Lin Su finished speaking, he put the jade bottle back into the spiritual field space with a thought. Little guy, what do you mean? A cold light flashed in the fire dragon's eyes, and an invisible pressure instantly acted on Lin Su, making his bones rattle. It's nothing interesting, I just want a promise from you, Mr. Huo. Ba Shu 69 knew. Lin Su resisted the pressure on his body and forced a smile. Look, I have already refined the dragon transformation pill. Should Lord Huo give me a promise? After I hand over the dragon transformation pill to you, can I leave safely? Little one, are you negotiating terms with me, Mr. Huo? The fire dragon grinned and showed a cold smile. No, no, this is not about conditions, I just want to save my life. We have been getting along for a few days, and we can be considered to have some friendship. With your generosity, Mr. Huo, giving me this small promise does not count. Difficult. The big head of the fire dragon stretched out in front of Lin Su, who was imprisoned. Its bloody mouth was less than a foot away from Lin Su's body. Lin Su could even feel the scorching air spurting out of it. After saying these words, Lin Su gritted his teeth and stared into the fire dragon's big eyes, refusing to give an inch. I have to say, you are such an interesting little guy. Over the years, you are still the first one who dares to negotiate terms with me, Mr. Huo, so that I don't have the intention to kill. After a while, the coldness in Huo Jiao's eyes gradually faded away, and a smile emerged. What I want is the dragon transformation pill. Your little life is not attractive to me, Master Huo. Okay, I promise to let you leave safely, but only after I confirm that the dragon transformation pill is effective. In other words, you have to stay with me until I successfully transform into a dragon. Now, give me the dragon transformation pill. The huge pressure on Lin Su disappeared, and Lin Su breathed a sigh of relief. The jade bottle reappeared in front of Lin Su and floated towards the fire dragon. Is this the dragon transformation pill? The bottle cap was opened, and the dragon transformation pill floated out from the jade bottle, floating quietly in front of the fire dragon. Even as a super strong man in the middle stage of nascent soul, when facing the thing he dreamed of, the fire dragon's eyes, the heat is still getting stronger and stronger. After staring at the dragon transformation pill greedily for a while, the fire dragon put it away and did not take it immediately. The fire dragon has been stuck in the middle stage of Yuanying for thousands of years, and has already reached the limit of this realm. If this dragon transformation pill is really effective, I am afraid that he will break through the bottleneck and reach the late stage of Yuanying soon after taking it, and at the same time transform the dragon into a dragon. When the dragon evolves into a real dragon, thunder tribulation will come. Even if the fire dragon is very confident in his own strength, he still has to find a safe enough place. After all, he is most vulnerable when he experiences thunder tribulation. Let's go, little guy, let's find a safe place. If this dragon transformation pill is really effective, you can see in advance how the dragon will be promoted to a real dragon. I believe it will be of great help to you in the future. Lin Su nodded and jumped on the head of the fire dragon, coiled his body around the horn of the fire dragon as before, and rose into the sky with the fire dragon, turning into a red line and disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. One day later, the figure of the fire dragon appeared over a desert island with a radius of 10 miles. After hovering in the air, it fell towards the top of the mountain. This desert island is also a volcano, just an extinct volcano that will not erupt. However, the fire dragon can still sense the surging magma under the volcano. This is indeed an excellent way for fire monsters like the fire dragon to break through. Land. Little guy, you can move around on this desert island, but you can't leave. Do you understand? If the dragon transformation pill is effective, the fire dragon will absorb a large amount of fire energy when it breaks through, which will definitely cause a volcanic eruption. Coupled with the dragon transformation thunder tribulation that will follow, if Lin Su's current strength is affected, his life was definitely at risk, and Huo Jiao's arrangement could be said to be exactly what Lin Su wanted. Nodding, Lin Su flew towards the edge of the deserted island without any hesitation. Since he couldn't leave the deserted island, it was natural to stay as far away as possible. If the city gate caught fire and the pond fish would be affected, Lin Su didn't want to be the one who was affected. Pond fish. Dragon transformation pill, I hope you really live up to the name of dragon transformation. The jade bottle containing the dragon transformation pill appeared in front of the fire dragon. He whispered softly. The dragon transformation pill flew up from the jade bottle and fell into the fire dragon's mouth. The fire dragon plunged into the magma at the bottom of the volcano. At this distance, it shouldn't be affected by the old guy's thunder disaster, right? Lin Su flew to the beach of the desert island. It was 12 miles away from the crater where the fire dragon drilled. It was the farthest coast from the crater. Lin Su was very confident in the effect of the dragon transformation pill he had refined. As long as if you take the fire dragon, you will definitely be able to break through. Ang. Just as Lin Su expected, not long after, a loud roar of dragons came from the crater and shot straight into the sky. Then the entire desert island shook violently. Countless cracks suddenly appeared on the earth, and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth shook violently. They rioted and suddenly gathered in the direction of the crater. The old thing is starting to break through. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathered faster and faster, and finally a tornado of spiritual energy reached the sky and the earth, and the center of the tornado was the crater where the fire dragon entered. The magma in the ground surged out from the cracks in the earth. Lin Su turned around and ran away without saying a word. The fire dragon had begun to break through, and the agreement between him and Lin Su should have come into effect. At this time, it was no longer possible. Let's go, when will we wait? Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 95. In a coral reef 100 miles away from the deserted volcanic island, Lin Su was lying on the reef exposed to the sea like a dead dog, gasping for breath. In the 2 days since he left the deserted volcanic island, Lin Su had not stopped at all, and was flying wildly with the 5 elements spirit sword. If a human cultivator saw Lin Su flying with a sword, he would be so surprised that his jaw would drop. A giant silver-white horned python as thick as a thigh was actually flying wildly in the air with a light purple translucent sword emitting 5-color light. This scene was too incredible. It should be safe now. The old guy hasn't caught up with me for 2 days. It seems that he kept his promise and let me go. Flying with the sword for 2 days and 2 nights without stopping consumed not only the power of the dragon essence, but also Lin Su's nerves were tense. Now he finally relaxed and felt a pain all over his body. After finally recovering some strength, Lin Su coiled up and put on a training posture to practice Xiantian Hualongju to restore the almost dried up dragon essence. In his heart, he recalled the scene when he escaped from the volcanic desert island. Little guy, I told you not to leave the island, didn't you hear me? 2 days ago, Lin Su had just left the beach and flew only a few dozen meters away from the island when the voice of the fire dragon rang in Lin Su's ears. Damn it, isn't this old monster breaking through? How come he still has time to care whether I have left or not? Lin Su cursed in his heart, but he did not stop. Instead, he flew faster. While flying, he responded loudly, Master Huo, you have already started to break through, which means that my dragon transformation pill is indeed effective. According to the agreement, you have to let me go. Little guy, Master Huo said that I will let you go after I successfully transform into a dragon. Don't joke, how can I wait for you to transform into a dragon? If I don't leave now, I will be roasted by the erupting volcano. Boy, I wish you a successfsu transformation into a dragon. We will meet again if we are destined. No need to see you off. After the voice fell, Lin Su directly summoned the 5 elements spirit sword and fled like flying on the sword. Flying with a sword? It's his own magic weapon. This kid can actually refine weapons. Interesting little guy. The scene of Lin Su flying with a sword was seen clearly by the fire dragon's consciousness. He was shocked but showed a playful smile at the corner of his mouth. The Chaos Star Sea is not small or big. There will always be a day when we will meet again, little guy, we will definitely meet again. After muttering, the fire dragon took back his consciousness. His bottleneck had been broken. Now he was transforming from a dragon to a real dragon. He had to concentrate on completing it. Next, there was a dragon thunder tribulation waiting for him. Lin Su, who was flying at full speed, suddenly felt a terrifying energy fluctuation coming from behind. Looking back, he saw countless thunders dancing wildly. The entire volcanic deserted island was shrouded in the range of thunder bombardment. It was a dragon thunder tribulation. Fortunately I ran fast. If I was pulled into it, I would definitely be chopped to pieces. With a lingering sigh, Lin Su's sword light under his feet became faster, turning into a stream of light and quickly fleeing into the distance. For 2 whole days and nights, Lin Su did not dare to relax at all. After running for hundreds of miles, he could not hold on any longer, so he lowered the sword light on this coral reef. After half a day, the lost dragon essence was finally restored, and Lin Su looked around. Looking around, except for the reefs exposed on the sea surface, there was only sea water within a few miles. At that time, he was busy escaping and did not pay attention to the direction. Lin Su did not know where he was now. However, this coral reef did not seem to be dangerous, but it was a good place to transform. After taking out the transformation pill from the spiritual field space, Lin Su set up a defensive formation around him and swallowed the transformation pill. Ugh! As soon as the transformation pill entered his stomach, the medicinal power quickly spread. Lin Su felt that his bones and meridians were pulled violently, and the intense pain burst out from the smallest part of every part of his body. He couldn't help but look up to the sky and let out a series of painful roars. If there were outsiders present at this time, they would find that a silver-white giant python as thick as a thigh and more than 3 meters long was rolling violently on a huge reef. A layer of light golden halo emanated from its body. The size of the giant python was rapidly shrinking under the halo, turning into human limbs, torso, and head. After a few breaths, the silver-white giant python disappeared, and a naked young man with skin as pink as a newborn baby appeared on the reef. Successful, finally transformed into a human form. It seems that there is no difference from my original appearance. After the transformation was successful, the intense pain suddenly disappeared. Lin Su stretched out his hand and a water mirror more than 1 person tall appeared in front of him, reflecting his angular and strong body. When a demon beast transforms into a human form, if there is a certain appearance in the mind, it will change according to the specific appearance. What Lin Su thought of in his mind was naturally his original appearance. Well, he is still as handsome and elegant as before, and has an extraordinary demeanor. Lin Su turned around and looked around narcissistically, and took out a green shirt and put it on. Although he was very satisfied with his human body, he always felt a little awkward in his lower body. It was normal to be naked when he was a demon beast, but now that he has become a human, it is not appropriate to be naked. This shape-changing elixir is truly miraculous. Now I can switch between my true form and my human form at any time. It will be much easier to move around in the future. Unlike the natural transformation of monsters after cultivating to a certain level, taking the transformation pill only transformed Lin Su's flesh and bones into human form. The meridians in his body were still the same as before, and they did not form human meridians. However, from the appearance alone, most people wouldn't be able to tell that he was a transformed monster. After all, basically all transformed monsters are great monsters at the nascent soul stage or above. They are filled with monster aura and the difference can be seen at a glance. Now that I have transformed into a human form, I can enter the city safely. I must quickly collect all the spiritual herbs for refining the breathing pill and refine the breathing pill as soon as possible, so that no one will find me. Although he has transformed into a human form, Lin Su still has a very faint trace of demonic aura on his body. Ordinary monks may not be able to see it, but if they meet a master whose cultivation is far higher than Lin Su's identity as a demonic beast cannot be concealed, unless only if you can take the breath-condensing pill and completely control your breath, you will be safe. The imagined thunder tribulation did not appear, perhaps because Lin Su used the elixir to transform. This also made Lin Su breathe a sigh of relief. After all, with his current cultivation level, he really had to fight against the thunder tribulation. I'm still a little scared. Setting up the sword light, Lin Su chose a random direction and flew away. A few days later, finally found an island with a city. Without the guidance of a map, he was like a headless fly in a vast sea like the Chaos Star Sea. After flying randomly for several days, he finally found a large island in the distance. Lin Su was overjoyed and sped up to fly over. The sword light came down outside the city gate. Hanyu City. After looking at the big characters on the city gate, Lin Su took a deep breath, gathered his breath, and walked towards the city gate. After paying the entry fee for 2 low-grade spiritual stones, Lin Su successfully entered the city. The guards guarding the city did not discover Lin Su's identity, which made him secretly happy. It's not easy to finally enter the city as a human monk again. Sighing secretly, Lin Su walked towards the spiritual grass shop in the city. There were not many spiritual grasses recorded on the recipe for refining the Zixi Dan. There were only 7 kinds. These spiritual grasses were relatively common. I would like to find them in the spiritual grass shop. It should be able to be collected. Fellow Taoist, what kind of spiritual herbs do you want? The spiritual herbs in our store are the most complete in Hanyu City. As soon as Lin Su entered the spiritual grass shop, the shopkeeper's eyes lit up. The young monk in front of him had an extraordinary bearing. Although he deliberately restrained his aura, he was definitely a monk above the foundation building stage. Shopkeeper, I need these spiritual herbs, can you get them all in your store? Lin Su wrote out the names of the spiritual herbs needed to refine the 11 Ling Dan and handed them to the shopkeeper. Living dark flower, winter rubber grass, Qinji spiritual liquid. The shopkeeper browsed through it and frowned slightly. Yes, there are, but the price of these spiritual herbs is not cheap, especially the Qinji spiritual liquid, which is the spiritual liquid condensed from the heart of the Qinji spiritual tree. It's expensive, are you sure you want it all, fellow Taoist? The total price of the 7 spiritual materials is no less than several thousand low-grade spiritual stones, which is a considerable burden even for a monk in the foundation building stage. How many spiritual stones are needed? Lin Su frowned. All his spiritual stones were used to cultivate the 5 elements spiritual bamboo and repair the incomplete elixir recipe, leaving less than 1,000 low-grade spiritual stones. A total of 2,300 low-grade spiritual stones. 2,300 low-grade spiritual stones are not enough. It looks like I have to find a way to get some spiritual stones. Shopkeeper, can you lend me a room? I want to refine a batch of elixirs to exchange for spiritual stones. To be honest, I only have less than 1,000 low-grade spiritual stones on me now. No problem, of course no problem. I didn't expect that my friend is actually an alchemist. What kind of elixir do you want to refine? Do you have all the materials? The shopkeeper was stunned for a moment, and then a smile appeared on his face. Alchemists are very popular in Luanzhonghai. He didn't expect that the young monk in front of him was actually an alchemist. If he hadn't lied, he would have made good friends. Refining the foundation building pill. I already have the materials. In addition to refining low-level Hui-Chi powder, the existing materials in the linked yen space are only a few spiritual herbs for refining foundation establishment pills. Low-level elixirs such as Hui-Chi powder are not worth much at all. Then Lin Su's only choice is the foundation establishment pill. Considering the scarcity of the foundation establishment pill, he should be able to sell it at a good price. What? Foundation building pill. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 96. The shopkeeper stared at Lin Su in a daze. His expression was as if he had seen a ghost. What did he just hear? This young cultivator said he wanted to refine a foundation building pill? Foundation building pill, a high-level pill with a 90% explosion rate. This young cultivator actually said he wanted to refine a foundation building pill in exchange for spirit stones. When did anyone become willing to refine a foundation building pill in exchange for spirit stones? Shopkeeper. Lin Su paused, glanced at the dazed shopkeeper, and reminded him. Ah. Oh, that, fellow deist, please follow me. The shopkeeper came back to his senses, looked at Lin Su with a complicated look, and led Lin Su to a small room in the inner room. Sorry, fellow deist, we don't have a special alchemy room here. He paused for a while, and finally asked, fellow deist, are you sure you want to refine the foundation building pill here? It doesn't matter, this is already very good. Lin Su nodded and smiled, give me a day, I don't want anyone to come in and disturb me during this period. Lin Su's tone was very calm, but full of confidence. Somehow, the shopkeeper suddenly had a little inexplicable confidence that this unknown young cultivator could refine the foundation building pill. After the shopkeeper left the room, Lin Su set up a magic circle to prevent detection. He didn't want others to spy on his secrets. Think about it, a person did nothing in the room, just sitting quietly for a day and refine the foundation building pill. How weird it would be. After opening the formation and making sure that he would not be spied on, Lin Su sat cross-legged and his soul entered the spiritual field space. There was still a portion of the spiritual grass that he cultivated when he helped Song Yulong refine the foundation building pill last time. Lin Su left the seeds as usual and began to refine. Refining the foundation building pill is now a very familiar thing for Lin Su. For Lin Su, who has a magical alchemy furnace, the foundation building pill with a 90% explosion rate can basically achieve a 90% success rate. In just half a day, Lin Su successfully refined the foundation building pill, and his soul withdrew from the spiritual field space, but he was not in a hurry to leave the room. Being able to successfully refine the foundation building pill within a day is already a very shocking thing. If this time is shortened by half, it will not be shocking, but terrifying. Lin Su's current goal is just to exchange enough spiritual stones and collect all the spiritual materials for refining the breath refining pill. If he behaves too high profile, he will be asking for trouble. Although it's only half a day, we can't waste it. Feeling the concentration of spiritual energy around the world, it is much stronger than outside the house. Obviously, there should be a spiritual gathering array. Anyway, it will take half a day to get out. I can't just sit there and do nothing, right? For monsters, the fastest way to improve their cultivation is to devour the flesh and blood of other monsters, especially the flesh and blood of monsters with higher cultivation than their own. The essence in it can be quickly converted into their own monster essence, but this method also has a fatal drawback. Just as human cultivators taking pills to quickly improve their cultivation will lead to an unstable foundation, monsters relying on devouring the blood of other monsters to absorb essence and quickly improve their cultivation will also lead to potential crises, that is, the difficulty of breaking through the bottleneck will be greatly increased. The fire dragon is the best example. With the talent of the dragon family, if the fire dragon had practiced step by step, it would be a natural thing for it to transform into a dragon after reaching the middle stage of the nascent soul. However, it is obvious that this bloodthirsty guy has hunted many other monsters for blood food, so that he has been stuck at the peak of the middle stage of the nascent soul for a full 1,000 years. If it were not for the help of Lin Su's dragon transformation pill, he would probably not be able to break through the bottleneck until his lifespan was exhausted. Lin Su heard this from the fire dragon. When the fire dragon got the dragon transformation pill and was looking for a place to break through, the fire dragon, who was in a good mood, told Lin Su about this experience. Lin Su was terrified and completely gave up the idea of hunting monsters for food to quickly improve his cultivation, although this was indeed very tempting. Sitting cross-legged on the ground, Lin Su raised his head high, opened his mouth, and used the Xiantian Hualongju. A trace of spiritual energy from heaven and earth gathered towards him and sank into his mouth. Although he had transformed into a human form, because his meridians had not changed, there was still only one acupointment in his mouth that could absorb the spiritual energy from heaven and earth. Lin Su's consciousness observed the scene of cultivation very clearly, and he was secretly alert in his heart. Even if he refined the breath-resisting pill and took it, he must not practice in front of people, at least not before he really transformed, otherwise such a cultivation scene that was very different from that of human cultivators would be instantly discovered by others. Half a day of time always passed quickly during cultivation. Lin Su stopped practicing, removed the formation and walked out of the door. The shopkeeper had been waiting at the door for a long time. When he saw Lin Su coming out, he couldn't wait to greet him, with excitement in his eyes. "Daiyu, have you refined the foundation building pill you mentioned?" "Yes." Lin Su nodded and handed over the jade bottle containing the foundation building pill. "Evaluate the price." The shopkeeper took the jade bottle and opened it to look inside. The hand holding the jade bottle couldn't help but tremble a little, and a trace of heat surged in his eyes. There was undisguised surprise in his tone. "It's really the foundation building pill. I wonder if you can tell me your name." "Lin Su." "Daiyulin, please wait a moment, I'll go prepare the spirit stones now." The shopkeeper walked quickly towards the backyard. Lin Su did not stop him, nor did he ask the shopkeeper how many spiritual stones he would pay. The appearance of an alchemist who could refine the foundation establishment pill was not a trivial matter. The shopkeeper must have gone to the Linko shop for instructions. The boss behind the scenes has gone. This has long been expected by Lin Su. All he has to do now is to wait quietly and remain unchanged in the face of changes. Not long after, a middle-aged monk in the middle stage of foundation building appeared in front of Lin Su, and the shopkeeper followed him respectfully. "This is fellow Taoist Lin Sulin, right? I am Wang Daipen, the owner of this Huishan Hall." Fellow Taoist is already a mid-stage foundation establishment monk at a young age, and he can also refine foundation establishment pills. Wang is really impressed by him. As soon as they met, Wang Daipen bowed to Lin Su with a warm smile on his face, but he was secretly surprised in his heart. He just used the Qingquan spiritual eye to detect Lin Su, and found that he could only detect Lin Su. His cultivation level and a hint of demonic aura on his body, the rest is like a mist that cannot be seen through at all. "It turns out to be fellow Daoist Wang, nice to meet you." Lin Su said it was a pleasure to meet him, but the expression on his face did not look happy at all. He changed his tone and said, "How much is that foundation establishment pill worth? You should give me a clear answer now, right? Of course, for high-end elixirs like the foundation establishment pill, our Huishan Hall will naturally give you a suitable price. 30,000 medium-grade spiritual stones plus a 10% discount for all stores under the Luanzingai Huishan Hall. What do you think, fellow Daoist Lin? 30,000 mid-grade spiritual stones." Lin Su secretly thought to himself, What else is there about the 10% discount on all the stores in Huishantang? This Wang Daipen really spent a lot of money to win over me. No reward will be given for no merit. I am very satisfied with the price of 30,000 medium-grade spiritual stones. The 10% discount later is unnecessary. Lin Su smiled faintly. He didn't know how powerful the Huichun Hall was this time, but for him, this kind of discount was basically useless. If he wasn't eager to exchange for spiritual stones to buy the spiritual grass for refining the breath-gathering pill, he would not sell the building. Keaton, do such an attention-grabbing thing. He's such an insecure guy, it's a bit difficult to handle. Seeing the gradually impatient look in Lin Su's eyes, Wang Daipen decisively swallowed the rest of his words, turned around and ordered the shopkeeper who was following behind him, prepare the spiritual herbs that this fellow Taoist Lin needs. The shopkeeper responded, turned around after a moment, and handed a storage bag to Lin Su. Fellow Taoist Lin, this is the spiritual grass you need, and there are 27,700 middle-grade spiritual stones. Please keep it and welcome your next visit. Our Huishun Hall has branches in major cities in this chaotic sea of stars. Lin Su took the storage bag, glanced at it with his consciousness and confirmed that it was correct, nodded to Wang Daipen and the shopkeeper, turned around and walked out of the Huishun Hall. My boss, why didn't you persuade him more just now? Foundation building monks who can refine the foundation building pill are rare in the Chaos Star Sea. After Lin Su walked away, the shopkeeper who had been standing behind Wang Daipen couldn't help but ask his doubts. I was rejected by him without even stating the conditions. This monk named Lin Su obviously looks like he is rejecting people from thousands of miles away. Any further persuasion will only be counterproductive. Wang Daipen shook his head, and a gleam flashed in his eyes. Looking at this man's appearance, he must have just arrived in Hanyu City. When did such an alchemy master appear in Chaotic Star Sea, and I didn't receive any news? Uncle Xiao, go check this guy's background. Yes, boss. The shopkeeper took the order and left. Wang Daipen looked at the jade bottle containing the foundation establishment pill in his hand, with a cold smile on his lips. Lin Su? An alchemy master who can refine the foundation establishment pill, haha, we will definitely do it again, goodbye. After coming out of Huishun Hall, Lin Su rented an independent small courtyard. This seemed to have become a habit for Lin Su. Although an inn would be more comfortable, Lin Su was still used to this kind of small house with a courtyard. More secluded and relatively safer. After entering the hut and activating the defensive array, Lin Su entered the spirit field space directly. The most important thing now was to refine the breath-gathering pill. The breath condensation pill is also a high-level elixir. Its refining difficulty is no less than that of the foundation establishment pill. It is even more difficult. Moreover, this is Lin Su's first time refining it, so he is still a little nervous. The spiritual grass he purchased is also very difficult. It is only enough to be refined twice. If it fails both times, even if you rely on the alchemy furnace's condensation effect to obtain the breath-condensing pill, the final quantity will be greatly reduced. But I don't know if it's because Lin Su has become more proficient in controlling the soul fire. Both refinings were successful, and he got a total of 10 breath-gathering pills. Well, judging from the fact that one pill can last for half a year, it is enough for Lin Su. It has been used for 5 years. Of course, the premise is that Lin Su does not return to the monster form after taking it, otherwise the breath-condensing pill will immediately lose its effectiveness. P.S. Thanks to the reader Lyodamama for the tip. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 97. 2 years later, in the auction hall of Shugwang Auction House in Hanyu City. Lin Su, wrapped in a large black robe, sat in the VIP room on the second floor. He was a little bored watching the auctioneer's hard performance in the hall through the one-sided transparent glass wall. His fingers tapped the handrail lightly and sighed, It's all garbage. Is there no real treasure that can interest me? It has been 2 years since he came to Hanyu City. After refining the breath-resisting pill, Lin Su completely solved his worries and was no longer cautious. With his excellent ability in refining pills and tools, Lin Su refined a lot of elixirs and magic tools in exchange for a large number of spirit stones. For Lin Su, an alchemist and tool refiner who suddenly appeared, all the forces in Hanyu City were quite concerned. However, no matter how they investigated, they could only find out that Lin Su was a cultivator in the middle stage of foundation building, with superb alchemy and tool refining skills, and nothing else could be found, as if Lin Su suddenly appeared in Hanbing City. This should be an unknown hermit cultivator. This is the unanimous evaluation of Lin Su by various forces. He is unknown, a cultivator, and has reached the middle stage of foundation building. Not only that, he is also a master of alchemy and weapon refining. Such talents are naturally the objects of competition for various forces. In the past 2 years, the door of Lin Su's courtyard has been almost broken. At first, Lin Su politely refused, but later he was really impatient and simply hung a "Do Not Disturb" plaque at the door of the courtyard, and refused to see any guests. All forces had to temporarily stop the plan to recruit Lin Su, so as not to push him into the arms of other forces. In 2 years, Lin Su has not relaxed his cultivation at all. He is now the strength of a 4th-level monster. Although he is much stronger than before the self-explosion, he still has little resistance to masters above the Jindan stage. If he wants to kill back to the world of cultivation to avenge his hatred, he must at least reach the 8th-level monster, that is, the late Jindan stage. However, it is more difficult for Lin Su to cultivate his current demon beast body than before. The Xianxia Hualongju cultivates pure dragon essence, which is more condensed than the demon essence of ordinary demon beasts. If the speed at which Lin Su absorbs the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is seen by ordinary mid-stage foundation building cultivators, they would probably be so surprised that their eyes would fall out, but the speed of condensing dragon essence is still very limited. In addition, for demon beasts, the tempering of the physical body is more critical. Most of the dragon essence condensed by Lin Su is used to enhance the strength of the physical body. In 2 years, Lin Su has only stabilized the cultivation of the 4th-level demon beast and eliminated the hidden dangers caused by the rapid promotion of the original cultivation. It can be said that there is basically no growth in cultivation. In Lin Su's heart, he naturally hopes that he can make rapid progress and reach the nascent soul stage as soon as possible, so as to find a way to return to the world of cultivation, but he also knows that this is simply a delusion. Unless there is a genius treasure that can quickly improve the cultivation, and it has few side effects, otherwise, in a short period of time, let alone the nascent soul stage, it is probably difficult to reach the core forming stage. To obtain natural treasures, the best way, besides going out of the city to explore, is to participate in an auction. This is why Lin Su is now sitting in the VIP room on the 2nd floor of the Shuguang auction house. With his reputation as a master of alchemy and weapon refining, it is not difficult to get a VIP room. However, Lin Su now regrets it a little, because so far, the auction items are things that are of little help to Lin Su, and there is only one auction item left. The next auction item is also the last auction item in this auction. It is a bottle of Dongji divine water from Xiushan Palace. After taking it, you can directly improve your cultivation by 1 level without any side effects. However, it is only effective within the current realm. The starting price is 10,000 middle-grade spirit stones, and each bid must not be less than 5,000 middle-grade spirit stones. Lin Su, who was leaning on the backrest, suddenly sat up straight, his eyes fixed on the translucent jade bottle in the auctioneer's hand that exuded bursts of mist. The Dongji divine water that can improve your cultivation by 1 level is an absolute treasure. Not only Lin Su, but everyone in the auction hall suddenly began to breathe faster. Dongji divine water is the holy water of Xiushan Temple, which has rarely been outflowed. Who is so powerful that he can get such holy water and is willing to sell it? Is this really Dongji divine water? Is it a fake? A questioning voice sounded, and everyone's eyes suddenly became suspicious, staring at the auctioneer on the auction table, waiting for his response. Don't worry, everyone, you are also very clear about the reputation of my Shugwang Pavilion. It has always been honest and trustworthy. We will never do such a thing as auctioning fakes to ruin our reputation. This jade bottle is indeed the holy water of Xiushan Temple, Dongji divine water. Don't worry, just bid with confidence. The words of the auctioneer made everyone's suspicion disappear a lot, and their eyes were filled with enthusiasm again. I'll pay 20,000 middle-grade spirit stones, I want this Dongji divine water. You want to buy Dongji divine water with 20,000 middle-grade spirit stones? That's just a dream. I'll pay 30,000 middle-grade spirit stones. 35,000 middle-grade spirit stones. The price soared rapidly, and soon reached a high price of 100,000 middle-grade spirit stones. All the cultivators in the hall were speechless. Such a high price of 100,000 middle-grade spirit stones was beyond their ability to bear. Although they were very envious of the efficacy of Dongji divine water, they could only sigh dejectedly. The only people still bidding were the 3 people in the VIP room on the 2nd floor. The VIP rooms of Shugwang Auction House all have formations to block visitors. Lin Su didn't know who was in the other VIP rooms besides him, but he thought they should be disciples of powerful forces. After all, not everyone can enter the VIP rooms on the 2nd floor. 150,000 middle-grade spirit stones. As the price rose to 150,000 middle-grade spirit stones, the cultivator in VIP room number 2 also gave up bidding, and the only ones still competing were the cultivators in VIP rooms number 1 and number 4. Little kid, this Dongji divine water is extremely important to this ancestor. If you give up competing with this ancestor will definitely reward you handsomely in the future. Otherwise, this ancestor's 10,000 souls banner will probably have to add another fragrant soul. 160,000 medium-grade spirit stones. After the price of 150,000 medium-grade spirit stones was quoted in VIP room number 1, a cold and hoarse voice came from VIP room number 4. The cultivators in the hall felt a buzzing in their heads and a splitting pain. Even Lin Su, who was in VIP room number 3 protected by the formation, felt a harsh demonic sound drilling into his ears. His consciousness was a little painful, and he was shocked. The person in VIP room number 4 must be an old monster above the middle stage of Jindan, otherwise it would be impossible to make such a terrible demonic sound. 10,000 souls banner, is the blood-killing ghost ancestor in the VIP room number 4. What? The blood-killing ghost ancestor is the demon ancestor second only to the Yuanying stage cultivators. How could he come to this small auction? This old demon has always been known for his cruelty and violence. I'm afraid that this Dongji divine water will definitely fall into his clutches this time. It's strange. Isn't this old demon already in the great perfection of the Jindan stage? Why does he need the Dongji divine water? Although this Dongji divine water is magical, it can only improve 1 level within the current realm. This old demon is now unable to improve. The cultivators who can sit in the hall of the Shugwang auction house must be at least at the foundation building stage. Naturally, their knowledge is not short. As soon as the blood-killing ghost ancestor spoke, his identity was guessed. Everyone immediately talked about it, but because of the blood-killing ghost ancestor's power, everyone dared to talk in a low voice. It turns out to be Senior Ghost Ancestor. I'm sorry for my disrespect. A soft female voice came from the VIP room number 1. Somehow, Lin Su always felt that the woman's voice sounded familiar, as if he had heard it somewhere before. Originally, Senior Ghost Ancestor spoke, and I should obey, but this Dongji divine water is also what my father is determined to get. Please forgive me for not arbitrarily making a decision. Sorry. 200,000 middle-grade spirit stones. The woman's words, which seemed soft but hard, did not give blood-killing ghost ancestor any face at all, and she even raised the price to a sky-high price of 200,000 middle-grade spirit stones. The atmosphere at the scene was suddenly suppressed to the extreme. The cultivators secretly exclaimed in their hearts, what was the origin of the woman in the VIP room number 1? She didn't even give blood-killing ghost ancestor any face. I'm afraid the power behind her is not small. However, this blood-killing ghost ancestor has always been bloodthirsty and extremely violent. It is said that even powerful cultivators in the early stage of the nascent soul dared to fight him. This woman did not give him face, so this old demon would not easily give up, right? Sure enough, after a few seconds of silence, the blood-killing ghost ancestor's resentful sneer came from the VIP room number 4, good, very good. It seems that this ancestor has not appeared in the world for a long time, and no one in this chaotic star sea knows how powerful this ancestor is. Little kid, I hope you can still maintain this attitude when we meet again, hum. After the voice fell, the lights in the VIP room suddenly dimmed, and the blood-killing ghost ancestor had already left brazenly. No one bids, this Dongji divine water should belong to me, right? The woman in the VIP room number 1 did not seem to take the blood-killing ghost ancestor's sinister words before leaving to heart. The gentle voice sounded again, which brought the somewhat dazed auctioneer back to his senses. Wiping the cold sweat from his forehead, the auctioneer coughed and announced, since no one bids anymore, this bottle of Dongji divine water will be won by the VIP in VIP room number 1. This auction ends here, thank you all for coming. 200,000 middle-grade spirit stones, hey, what a big deal. From beginning to end, Lin Su did not participate in the bidding for Dongji divine water. All the spirit stones he earned in the past 2 years added up to only 130,000 middle-grade spirit stones, and he was not able to participate in the competition at all. However, the effect of Dongji divine water did make Lin Su very excited. Although he could not do such a thing as killing and robbing, he thought that the blood-killing ghost ancestor would definitely not give up. Maybe there would be a good show to watch. It is still possible to do something like this, where the snipe and the clam fight, and the fisherman benefits. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 98. After making up his mind, Lin Su left the VIP room in advance and stood guard at the corner after becoming invisible. After a while, the door of VIP room number 1 opened, and 2 monks in black robes came out, their whole bodies covered with loose clothes. It was covered tightly, and it seemed that the black robe had the effect of isolating spiritual consciousness and light, so it was completely unclear what the face of the person under the black robe was. However, Lin Su recognized one of them as a woman at a glance. She should be the one who had just confronted the blood-killing ghost ancestor. In addition to being smaller than the other person next to him, she also had an intoxicating girlish body. Fragrance, the sense of smell of monsters is much more sensitive than that of human monks, Lin Su knows this very well. It's quite cautious. It's very different from the previous performance. It's interesting. With a smile on his lips, Lin Su unfolded his figure and followed him from a distance. With the woman's body fragrance guiding him, Lin Su didn't worry about losing him even though they were 2 streets apart. The 2 people being followed didn't seem to know that there was a tail like Lin Su behind them. After circling the city a few times, they probably felt it was safe, so they stopped circling and walked directly towards the city gate. Lin Su followed the 2 of them out of the city. He set up his sword and followed them from a distance. They flew a distance of more than 10 miles, but it was calm and nothing happened. It's strange. Could it be that the blood-killing ghost ancestor just said harsh words? Lin Su secretly murmured in his heart that if the demon lord who was in the final stage of the pill formation tried to follow 2 people, he would definitely not miss it. However, the blood-killing ghost ancestor has not yet appeared. Could it be that the background of these two people is really that big, so that the old man, even the devil, has scruples? Although Lin Su has never done anything to actively kill people and seize treasures, it is still okay to only seize treasures without killing people. The reason why he did not take action was firstly to wait for an advantage, and secondly to attack the tall monk who was also wearing black robes next to the woman. Have some scruples. Although it is impossible to detect the cultivation level, Lin Su will have a feeling of palpitations every time his eyes pass over his body. Of course, this feeling is much weaker than when facing the fire dragon in the middle stage of nascent soul. But it was enough for Lin Su to roughly judge the black-robed monk's cultivation. He was definitely a master in the middle stage of pill formation or above. It's no wonder that the black-robed woman dared to compete with the blood-killing ghost ancestor before. Presumably it was because she had a sense of honor and was not afraid of blood. Kill the ghost ancestor. However, the monks who are clearly in the pill formation stage still learn to fly with swords like the monks in the foundation establishment stage. Is this to show their weakness and lure out the enemies who are spying in secret? How insidious! Friend, aren't you tired after following us for so long? Lin Suhan was cursing secretly, when suddenly the two men in front stopped their sword light, and the black-robed monk's slightly mocking voice rang out. Oops, got discovered. Lin Su was startled, secretly calling out bad luck, and was about to show up and say a few good words. Suddenly, a cloud of black air appeared out of thin air in front of him on the left, and a cold, hoarse voice that Lin Su was familiar with rang out, "We can find traces of this ancestor. It seems that you are not an ordinary person, but why are you so secretive and dare not show your true face to others? It's the blood-killing ghost ancestor." It turned out that the old devil had been following him for a long time. Fortunately, Lin Su didn't show his body just now, otherwise wouldn't he have blocked the gun for the old devil? Let me just say, since there is a breath-condensing pill to restrain all the aura, and we are so far apart, it stands to reason that I shouldn't be discovered so easily. Lin Su secretly rejoiced and quietly put away the five elements spiritual sword and landed on the sea. Whether it was the blood-killing ghost ancestor or the black-robed monk, they were all beings whose cultivation levels were much higher than his own. He couldn't deal with any of them. It's better to be careful not to be discovered. It turns out that it was the ghost ancestor who was killed with blood. No wonder I always feel that there is a vague aura following behind me. Your ability to hide the aura, Gui Lao Mo, is really amazing. You are almost catching up with the killer of Yama Palace. The monk laughed, put away his black robe, and revealed his figure. He was actually a middle-aged monk with blonde hair and a beard. His appearance looked extremely rough, and his slightly feminine voice was not at all the same. Proportionate. Without the obstruction of the black robe, Lin Su finally saw clearly the cultivation level of the middle-aged monk. It was evident that he was at the Dzogchen realm of the late stage of pill formation. He was no weaker than the blood-killing ghost ancestor. He felt secretly afraid of the middle-aged monk at the same time. The mention of Yama Palace in the monk's words made him a little more curious. Yama Hall? Killer? Is it possible that there is a secular killer organization among cultivators that can make middle-aged monks who are in the late stage of the great perfection state of elixir formation marvel? This organization must be extremely extraordinary. It has only been in Hanyu City for 2 years. Why have I never heard of it? Have you even heard of the name of Yama Palace? My ancestor's ability to conceal his whereabouts is not as good as those killing gods from the Yama Palace. When the blood killer ghost ancestor said this, there was an inexplicable look of fear in his eyes. Although it was fleeting, it made Lin Su, who caught a glimpse of this scene, couldn't help but his heart beating wildly. A master of the Dzogchen demon way in the late stage of the Den formation like ghost ancestor would feel palpitations and fear. How terrifying must the killing gods of the Yama Palace be? Since you have discovered my whereabouts, I will tell you straight away. You must know the purpose of my visit, right? By leaving the Dongji divine water, I can ignore the words and deeds of that little doll in the auction house. Let you go. When the blood-killer ghost ancestor said these words, a trace of arrogance flashed across his face. It seemed that he was not facing a master of the same level as him, but just a junior. However, Lin Su knew that this old devil had such a proud qualification. After 2 years in Hanyu City, Lin Su has heard about some of the situations in Chaos Star Sea. Apart from those nascent soul cultivators who are hard to find, blood-killing ghost ancestor is a famous and powerful figure in Chaos Star Sea. In addition to his famous cruelty, his mysterious magic skills are also extraordinary. It is rumored that blood-killing ghost ancestor once offended a nascent soul cultivator in Xianxia Palace and was chased by him for tens of thousands of miles, but blood-killing ghost ancestor finally saved his life and escaped successfully. It is not something that ordinary late Jindan great perfection cultivators can do to save their lives from a nascent soul cultivator. The rumors may be exaggerated, but there is no smoke without fire. Although the middle-aged cultivator is at the same level as blood-killing ghost ancestor, Lin Su does not think that blood-killing ghost ancestor is arrogant at all. Contrary to Lin Su's expectation, facing the powerful demon hero like blood-killing ghost ancestor, the middle-aged cultivator did not show any fear, and laughed, "Ghost old demon, others are afraid of you, but I, Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong, am not afraid of you. Let me see how powerful Wanli burial soul blood-killing ghost ancestor is. Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong? You are Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong, one of the 4 elders of Spirit Beast Island." Blood-killing ghost ancestor showed a trace of surprise on his face. Obviously, he had heard of the name of Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong. "That's right. It's me. Ghost old demon, do you still want to steal the Dongji divine water now?" The middle-aged cultivator, that is, Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong, said that a pair of dark golden gloves appeared on his hands. This was Qin Tong's life magic weapon, the Phoenix Extreme Gold Silk Gloves, which was a magic weapon of the top grade. Qin Tong was able to gain the reputation of Qianyuan Hand mostly because of this pair of magic gloves. "Humph. You said you are Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong. Are you Qin Tong? Besides, even if you are, others are afraid of your Spirit Beast Island, but this ancestor is not. This Dongji divine water will be taken by this ancestor today. If it were usual, blood-killing ghost ancestor would definitely not provoke the people of Spirit Beast Island, not to mention that Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong is also a famous person, and his cultivation is on par with him, but this time he must get the Dongji divine water. This may be his only chance to break through to the early stage of Yuanying. At this time, let alone Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong, he will not give face to the King of Heaven. Watch this." With a palm extended, a small black flag appeared in the hand of blood-killing ghost ancestor, and he saw him hit a spell into it, and suddenly a black gas emerged from it, transformed into a huge black skull, and pounced towards Qianyuan Hand Qin Tong. 10,000 souls banner? Damn it, this old demon is determined to kill them. Qin Tong's face changed. The blood-killing ghost ancestor used the strongest 10,000 souls banner at the first move. This means he is determined to kill them and seize the Dongji divine water. "Ping-er, you take the Dongji divine water and go first. I will stop him." Qin Tong's hands changed, and a blue hand appeared, barely blocking the huge black skull. "But..." The black-robed woman wanted to say something, but Qin Tong waved his other hand and brought a whirlwind, blowing her away. The black robe was blown off by the whirlwind, revealing the exquisite figure and extremely charming face under the black robe. Is it her? The stunning woman under the black robe was actually Ye Ping-er, the eldest daughter of the Spirit Beast Island, who had taken a fancy to Lin Su in Dongji City several years ago and wanted to buy him from Song Yulong. After not seeing her for several years, this little girl's cultivation had actually advanced to the middle stage of foundation building, and she became more and more charming. However, her beautiful face was full of reluctance at the moment, and there seemed to be 2 crystal tears in the corners of her eyes. Seeing this, Lin Su felt inexplicably sad, and felt like trying his best to protect her. After a moment of trance, Lin Su came back to his senses and couldn't help but take a breath. My goodness, this girl is simply a fairy. Just an unintentional expression can affect my mood. Could she have practiced some kind of charm? Just when he thought of this, Lin Su shook his head with a bit of amusement. What am I thinking about? What kind of charm can confuse the spirit-eyed snow python? This girl looks like a natural charmer. I have to be vigilant and don't fall into her trap by accident. The greatest talent of the spirit-eyed snow python is the silver eye that can see through illusions. In addition to being able to see through all illusions and formations, it is precisely the nemesis of all kinds of charm. I have never heard of a charm that the silver eye can't resist, unless it is a natural charmer. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 99. As soon as he moved, Lin Su chased after Ye Ping'er, who was blown away. Of course, he didn't forget to put away the black robe that Ye Ping'er dropped. This is a good thing, it can isolate spiritual consciousness and light. But the excellent robe that hides oneself is much better than the black robe Lin Su is wearing now. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Uncle Qin, take care of yourself. As the eldest lady of Spirit Beast Island, Ye Ping'er is naturally a decisive person. After a little reluctance, her face quickly became determined. She raised her sword and turned around to fly towards the distance, unaware that Lin was following behind her. Su has such a tale. As expected of a disciple of a noble family, he is quite decisive in his actions. Lin Su, who had been following far behind, flashed a hint of admiration in his eyes, and then he was troubled. Do I really want to rob such a beautiful woman? If this spreads out, it will damage my reputation. But, Dongji divine water is so tempting, oh, it's so embarrassing. If an acquaintance hears Lin Su's mutterings at this moment, he will definitely curse, which will damage his reputation. Your boy has a bad reputation in Luanzhonghai. This is a typical example of someone who wants to be a prostitute but also has to erect a memorial arch. Shameless, so shameless. Forget it, let's take a look first. Maybe there will be other opportunities. In the end, it really doesn't work. For the sake of Dongji divine water, I can only do something against my conscience once. Hey, for a pure person like me, how can I? Are you starting to look like that guy Yun Fan? I miss him so much, that's right. Consoling himself shamelessly, Lin Su continued to follow calmly. After experiencing a huge change in the near-death situation of self-destruction, Lin Su's personality has changed a lot compared to the original one. Although the original Lin Su was calm, he lacked Zhang Yunfan's free and easy and passionate character. He said he wanted revenge, but in the end he chose to avoid him. This was the most important reason why the enemy would go to great lengths to lay a deadly trap to kill him. After experiencing the death disaster, Lin Su's thoughts completely changed. It's all bullshit to keep a thin line in life so that we can meet each other easily in the future. Human nature is all about bullying good and fearing evil. Blind withdrawal will never bring kindness, but more violent harm. Treat your friends as warm as spring, and treat your enemies as cold as winter. Once you are confirmed to be an enemy, there should be no hesitation in taking action. The kindness of a drop of water is repaid by a spring, and the hatred that offends me is repaid with anger. As long as you stick to your own bottom line when doing things, it is better to have as few other moral constraints as possible. Only in this way can you live a free and easy life and go further. After following for hundreds of miles, Lin Su looked at the map. A few dozen miles ahead was Hahai City. Unlike a neutral city like Hanyu City, Hahai City was a city within the jurisdiction of Spirit Beast Island, with a path leading to it. According to the teleportation circle at the Spirit Beast Island headquarters, Ye Ping'er was heading towards Hai City and returned to the Spirit Beast Island headquarters through the teleportation circle. Once she enters the city, she may never have a chance to strike again. Just when Lin Su sighed, put on the black robe he just got, and prepared to play the role of a robbery, 3 sword lights rushed from behind her. Surrounded Ye Ping'er. Huh? There are actually other people following this girl, that's interesting. I won't take action for now and let's see what happens. Lin Su didn't think that the 3 people surrounding Ye Ping'er at this time were just to reminisce about the past. I'm afraid they had the same purpose as him, and they also came for the Dongji divine water. What do you want to do? Why are you blocking my way? Among the 3 people surrounding Ye Ping'er, 2 were in the middle stage of foundation establishment. The leading one was in the late stage of foundation establishment. He was a rather handsome young monk, but there was a faint lustful look in his eyes. This person is definitely not a kind person. Facing Ye Ping'er's question, the handsome young man smiled evilly and said, Miss Ye, you are also an outstanding disciple of Spirit Beast Island, how could you ask such a stupid question? Don't you know why we are here? Ye Ping'er heard the words and looked at the young monk carefully. Her eyes stopped on a yin and yang tai chi pattern on the hem of his robe. Her expression changed slightly, and then she glanced at the other 2 people's clothes. The same thing happened. Pattern, his face suddenly darkened, he looked at the 3 people with cold eyes, and said, Disciples of Xianxia Palace, so you entrusted Shiguang Auction House to auction this Dongji divine water. As long as they are the disciples of Xianxia Temple, they will receive the Dongji divine water as a reward from Xianxia Temple, and the Dongji divine water is only effective the first time it is taken. These 3 disciples of Xianxia Temple are so eager to get back the Dongji divine water. There can only be one reason for the water, and that is that this Dongji divine water was originally consigned by them. After selling the things you sell, you then snatch them back. This is a waste of money. These monks from the Xianxia Temple are really ruthless. Lin Su, who was hiding in the waves, smacked his lips and suddenly felt that he was a good person compared to those monks from Xianxia Temple. As expected, she is the eldest lady of Spirit Beast Island, with a delicate mind and extraordinary intelligence. The young monk smiled while stroking his hands, and then the smile gradually turned cold. Yes, this Dongji divine water is indeed consigned by me, but it is just because I am a little tight recently and I just need some pocket money. Miss Ye, you are a person who knows the current affairs. Junja, there's no way you can escape from the hands of the 3 of us. Hand over the holy water obediently. I'm very considerate of you and won't embarrass you. How about that? Bah, this is also called pity for the fragrance and cherish the jade. How shameless. Lin Su spat secretly, but his interest was even stronger. He wanted to see what choice Ye Ping'er would make in the face of such a situation. If she really handed over the Dongji divine water, then Lin Su could snatch it from the 3 Xianxia Palace monks with peace of mind. Dream on. You want me to hand over the Dongji divine water, it's simply wishful thinking. Aren't you afraid that your actions will be spread and ruin the reputation of Xianxia Palace? A flash of anger flashed across Ye Ping'er's pretty face, and her almond eyes glared at the 3 Xianxia Palace monks with murderous intent. Spread it? No, 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 it's impossible. The young monk shook a finger deep inside. You won't tell anyone, right? As the words fell, the young monk's pupils changed rapidly, and a triangular light golden pattern appeared in his pupils. Ye Ping'er's eyes became confused, and she unconsciously echoed, I won't tell anyone, I won't tell anyone. Pupil technique. Lin Su was suddenly shocked. This young monk actually knew the rare secret technique of pupil technique, and it seemed to have the effect of controlling people's minds. In other words, Ye Ping'er was hypnotized. I am your master, you will obey everything I say. My master, obey everything. Ping'er whispered softly, her eyes gradually became empty, as if she had completely lost control of her body. The young monk showed a smug evil smile on his face, took out a spirit boat, enlarged it and landed on the sea, and Ping'er also unconsciously followed him to land on the spirit boat. Very good, now, give me the Dongji divine water, and then take off all your clothes. I am your master, and your mission is to serve me well. As the young monk spoke with lust, Ping'er took out the jade bottle containing the Dongji divine water and handed it to the green monk, then slowly stretched her hands to her waist, trying to take off her light red dress. Young master, you are really romantic and suave, haha. This little girl is naturally charming, and can be called the best in the world. Young master, you are so lucky. Young master, after you enjoy it later, can you let us brothers have a taste of it too? The other two Xianxia palace monks standing next to the green monk also smiled evilly, staring at the beauty who took off her clothes, with lustful colors on their faces. Don't worry, after I enjoy this little beauty, I will definitely let you enjoy it too, ha ha ha. The green-clothed monk laughed loudly, and Lin Su shook his head repeatedly. I originally thought that these three people were just acting insidiously, but I didn't expect them to be so vulgar. No, I can't stand it. Lin Su didn't have any bad feelings towards Ping'er. Although the other party wanted to buy him when he was still in the form of a monster in Dongji City, it was the three male monks from the Spirit Beast Island who pressed him to please the beauty. Ping'er herself did not take action, nor did she stop Lin Su and Song Yulong from leaving. For this charming and pitiful woman, Lin Su couldn't bear to see her being defiled by the three beasts in front of him. He waved his hand and sent out a stream of energy to seal Ping'er's ability to move, preventing her from undressing. Lin Su appeared behind the green-clothed monk like a ghost, and the five elements spirit sword stabbed at her heart as fast as thunder. Since he had already made his move, he would show no mercy. Moreover, Lin Su had no reason to hold back against such a scum. Not good. Although the young monk acted in a despicable and dirty way, he was not an ordinary mediocre person. He felt the sharp edge suddenly appearing on his back, and he rolled forward in shock. He barely avoided the piercing of the five elements spirit sword, but a deep blood mark was still drawn on his lower back. Who is it? The feeling of brushing shoulders with the god of death made the young monk's soul tremble. His back was covered with cold sweat, and the pain from his waist made him roar wildly in shock and anger. The one who wants you to die. Lin Su was also quite surprised that the young monk could avoid his fatal sword. He was indeed a late foundation building monk of the Xianxia Palace. He was really good. However, Lin Su's killing intent did not weaken because of the missed attack, but became even more intense. After saying this coldly, Lin Su's five elements spirit sword flew out of his hand and stabbed at the young monk. The blade flashed with lightning, and it was covered with a layer of Bing fire divine thunder. How dare you? Don't hurt my young master. The two monks from the Xianxia Palace shouted loudly, summoning two flying swords to stab at Lin Su from the left and right, trying to force Lin Su to give up attacking the blue-clothed monk and return the sword to save himself. Humph, a trifling trick. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 100. Lin Su sneered, without even turning his head, he threw two five-element divine thunderbolts at the flying swords of the two people. Yes, he smashed them. The Kuishui Divine Thunderbolt and Yumu Divine Thunderbolt, which were as big as a human head, emerged from Lin Su's palm and smashed directly on the two flying swords. One of the flying swords of the two people was a fire attribute flying sword, and the other was an earth attribute flying sword. Under the five elements conflict, they were directly smashed by the divine thunderbolts and thrown out with a wail. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. How is it possible? The two were shocked. Their flying swords were mid-grade magic weapons. How could they not withstand even a spell from the other party? What was the origin of this guy who suddenly appeared, and why was he so powerful? Lin Su didn't care how shocked the two monks behind him were. At this moment, he just wanted to completely kill the blue-clothed monk in front of him. Su Tianding. Seeing that the five elements spirit sword was about to hit the young monk's head, the young monk, whose face changed drastically, gritted his teeth and threw out a talisman, which turned into a three-legged round tripod covering the young monk's head, and a light golden light curtain was lowered to cover it. Dang! The five elements spirit sword slashed fiercely on the three-legged round tripod, and the three-legged round tripod and the light curtain below it shook violently. A visible shockwave spread out in a circle with the slashing point as the center. Lin Su shook his body slightly and dissolved the shockwave acting on his body. The two monks of Su Tian Palace flushed and looked horrified. Su Tianding Fu. Young master even took out this life-saving amulet that he had kept in the bottom of the box. Is this guy so strong? What grade of spiritual sword is that? It was not deflected by Su Tianding and was in a stalemate. The two cultivators of Su Tian Palace almost dropped their jaws. After they came to their senses, they recalled the injured flying swords and wanted to attack again, but they were stared at by Lin Su's cold and murderous eyes and dared not breathe. They could only shout wildly in their hearts, "Damn it, where did this pervert come from? Why did he target us? My friend, I am Su Wuming, the young pavilion master of Yuanxu Pavilion of Su Tian Palace. Is there any misunderstanding between you and me?" The young cultivator Su Wuming, who was covered by the light curtain of Su Tianding, was also very scared at this moment. If he had hesitated for a moment and did not take out the Su Tianding Fu, he would probably have become a charred corpse lying on the ground. The red and purple electric lights lingering on Su Tianding and its light curtain made Su Wuming feel cold. Although Su Wuming could not feel the power of the red and purple electric light through the light curtain of Su Tianding, the light curtain under Su Tianding was shaking. The destructive power contained in it made Su Wuming's scalp numb just thinking about it, not to mention that the lavender flying sword emitting colorful halo was still slashing at Su Tianding. Every time it slashed, the light curtain shook violently. It couldn't last long at all. After all, this was just the Su Tianding transformed by the talisman, not the spiritual artifact tripod that suppressed the luck of Su Tian Palace. Misunderstanding? There is no misunderstanding between you and me. You use such a despicable means to deal with a woman. I will kill such scum if I see one, and I will kill two if I see two. In response to Su Wuming's words, Lin Su's response was not only a sneer, but also a more fierce attack. The Kuishui Divine Thunder and the Binghuo Divine Thunder were poured into the five elements spirit sword at the same time, slashing the Su Tianding violently, and the light curtain flickered, with a faint feeling of being broken. You. Su Wuming's mouth twitched, his face was pale, and he secretly lamented that he didn't check the almanac before going out, and he actually met such an evil star, who didn't even give face to Xianxia Palace. He was only in the middle stage of foundation building, but his attack power was so abnormal. While lamenting in his heart, Su Wuming could only input his true essence into the Xianxia Ding above his head with all his strength, trying to stabilize the disadvantage. He thought viciously in his heart, it can't last long, such continuous attacks can never last too long. Damn guy, when your true essence is exhausted, as long as there is a little slackness, this young master will make you wish you were dead. As the young master of Yuanxu Pavilion of Xianxia Palace, Su Wuming is not an ordinary late stage of foundation building cultivator. If Lin Su hadn't appeared too suddenly and killed him directly with one move, he wouldn't have fallen into such a passive situation. Now Su Wuming is waiting for Lin Su's true essence to run out. As long as he can catch his breath, he has plenty of magic weapons and talismans to deal with Lin Su, which will definitely make Lin Su feel like he is in heaven and dead. Want to rely on this broken tripod to fight with me? Humph. Watch me break your turtle shell. The cruelty in Su Wuming's eyes did not hide from Lin Su's eyes, and Lin Su guessed his plan at once. If you don't kill the snake, you will be bitten by the snake. Lin Su will not give Su Wuming a chance to fight back. Under the famous name, Wu Xushi, the young pavilion master of Yuanxu Pavilion in Xiushan Palace, Lin Su really doesn't believe that he has no powerful means. This is not a fair duel. Since he has already gained the upper hand, Lin Su will naturally grasp the advantage to the end. With a determined heart, Lin Su's dragon essence in his body started to run at a high speed. Binghuo Shenli, Kuishui Shenli, Zhengjin Shenli, and Yumu Shenli were poured into the five elements spirit sword at the same time, and slashed towards Xiushan Ding. Lin Su's consciousness is now divided into 4 parts, and being able to infuse 4 divine thunders at the same time and fuse them together is already the limit. Crack. Rightward arrow. A slight sound rang out, and a hint of joy flashed in Lin Su's eyes, but it sounded like thunder in Su Wuming's ears, and fine cracks appeared on the Su Tianding where it was cut by the 5 elements spirit sword. No, this is impossible. Su Wuming screamed in horror. Couldn't the Xiushan Cauldron talisman block all attacks below the Dan formation stage? How could it be broken by Lin Su? No matter how much Suxian Ming didn't believe it, it was an indisputable fact that the Xiushan Cauldron was broken. In the disbelieving eyes of Suxian Ming and the other 2 Xiushan temple monks, the cracks on the Xiushan Cauldron expanded rapidly, and together with the hanging light curtain suddenly shattered together, turning into little golden lights and disappearing. Liu Yun umbrella, stop me. After all, as the young pavilion master of Yuanxu Pavilion of Xiushan Palace, Su Ming's reaction was unmatched by the 2 followers. Although he was horrified in his heart, at the moment when Xiushan Cauldron shattered into golden light and disappeared, he quickly raised it again. He held up a small umbrella like a flowing cloud, blocking the 5 elements spirit sword that was slashing down. There are so many good things. I want to see how many times you can block my sword. The defensive ability of the flowing cloud-shaped umbrella was obviously not as good as that of the previous Xiushan Cauldron. It was chopped by the 5 elements spiritual sword in a few blows and its light dimmed. Seeing that it could not hold on for a few more times, Su Wuming anxiously moved towards the 2 people who were standing aside. The follower yelled, "What are you 2 bastards still doing? Come on, you want to see me die, right? If I hurt a hair, you all won't be able to live. Kill." The 2 followers looked at each other, with a trace of cruelty flashing in their eyes. They no longer cared about their fear of Lin Su, and controlled the flying sword again to attack Lin Su. 2 idiots who only care about eating but not fighting. Kuishui Divine Thunder. Otamu Divine Thunder. Lin Su snorted disdainfully, and threw 2 more Divine Thunders at him, knocking the flying swords of the 2 men away. The magic formula in his hands changed, and the 5 elements spiritual sword made a sword cry, and suddenly struck Liu Yun umbrella with a sword. Zhan flew out. Lin Su was about to take advantage of the situation to kill Su Wuming, when suddenly his consciousness moved, and a very faint black shadow flashed behind Su Wuming, and then a cold voice full of murderous intent rang out, "1,000-year killing." Oh! A ray of cold light entered the body from behind, and Wuming let out a scream that did not sound like a human voice. He opened his mouth and spat out blood mist that filled the sky. He rolled his eyes and lost his voice. Hi! Lin Su took a breath, and the 5 elements spiritual sword flew back in front of him to protect himself. He was able to silently appear behind Wuming and kill him with 1 blow. He was definitely a master, and he was able to hide his figure. The ability is really terrifying. Who are you? The visitor raised his head, and what caught Lin Su's eyes was a shiny bald head and an honest face that was so ordinary that he wouldn't even recognize it if thrown into a crowd. Should I take care of my tail before we talk? Tail. Lin Su followed the bald man's gaze and looked at the 2 Xiushan temple monks on the side. He nodded. With a thought, the 5 elements spiritual sword turned into a cold light and passed through the chest of one of them. As for the other, a sound after the screams that did not sound like human voices, he followed the footsteps of a feudal life. It is indeed a supreme enjoyment. The bald man let out a long sigh of satisfaction and stood up straight. His burly figure was half a head taller than Lin Su. Each of his left and right hands held a 3-foot-long spike. The look of enjoyment on his face made Lin Su's heart skip a beat. Feeling sick of the cold, I unconsciously tightened my legs. After following this guy for so long, I finally completed my mission. It sounds like I have to thank you, brother, for breaking this guy's turtle shell before I had the chance to do it. Then the Dongji divine water belongs to you, but the rest this thing is mine. The bald man laughed at Lin Su. He looked honest, and harmless. He didn't look like someone who had just harvested 2 lives. However, what he said made Lin Su's heart move. You are the killer of Yama Palace. The only one who calls killing a mission is the killer, and the only one who can appear so quietly and kill with one blow without mercy is probably the rumored god of death from the Temple of Hell. This brother has actually heard of our Yama Palace. He is quite knowledgeable. That's right, brother, I am the most outstanding killer of this generation in Yama Palace. My name is Yuan Tian. What do you call this, brother? The bald man held a storage ring in his hand. He took it off when he killed Wu Ming. He stretched out his hand and touched the storage ring, and the jade bottle containing the East Pole divine water appeared in it. In his hand, he threw it towards Lin Su. As a killer, he admitted so openly and even said his name, which made Lin Su quite surprised. Looking at the 3 corpses on the spirit boat, Lin Su frowned and waved his hand to send out a burst of energy. He threw it into the waves outside the ship.